Hi, I'm Sandi Genovese, and today we're going to be making a birthday banner. And I like to make them as a way to count down the days until somebody's birthday. Here, I'll hold it up and you can see it spells happy birthday. And they're in these little wedding favor bags. And if I set it down backwards, you'll be able to see I have little treats inside the bags. So if I just start here with this one, this is just a heart-shaped chocolate candy. Here is a little tin. It has mints in it, but I love the tin packaging for lots of other cool things. Here's a fun little necklace, a keychain, another piece of candy. Here are some birthday stickers. Just fun little treats that you can fit inside these bags. Now, I'll turn it back so we can look at how to make what we're going to make today. But if you think about it, the words happy birthday is 12 letters. And then I used one extra bag, a 13th bag, in order to separate the word happy from the word birthday with just a themed embellishment that matches the birthday theme. So you're going to need, if you do happy birthday, 13 bags. Well, I bought them at Hobby Lobby, and they're in the wedding section. It comes 12 to a pack, so you end up with some extras, but it's fun to make these banners for other occasions as well. So I have gone back many times and bought them over the years. So you're likely to use them and reuse them again. It's very inexpensive, $6 for 12. So what you need to do is, based on the size bag that you're going to be using, you need to cut paper that will fit inside. So mine ends up being a 2-inch square. I want it to fit inside, and then I want it to have enough clearance on the side so I can pull these edges and close it just a little. So I'm going to take these and let's decorate a couple. First, I'm going to take, if you look here on the table, I'm going to start with foam stamps to spell out birthday. I like to use the stamp, and especially the foam stamp, with paint, because the saturation I can get is nice and dark, and it will show through the bag. So what I've done is I've taken a couple of different craft paints. These aren't even designed necessarily for fabric, because I'm actually going to be stamping them on paper, but fabric paint would work as well. And I just squirted a little bit right here. I'm going to bring this over to me so that I don't drag my shirt sleeve. So often when I go to the grocery store, they ask me, am I an artist or a teacher? Because I'll have stuff on my clothing stuck there. But so what I'm going to do is I'll just take the H out of the stamps, and I'm going to take, I think I'll use a smaller one, and I'm going to start by placing yellow, and I'm going to mix a little yellow and red together here to get a blend. I need hardly any red and more yellow than anything else. I want, the fun thing is you can see the coloring as you place it on here. I want there to be a little bit of yellow in the base of this, but I want it mostly to be red, and that's the beauty of using paint on these, is how well you can shadow and layer. So see, now I'm just going back and adding more red to this. I don't want all red, but I want some red. When it's the coloration that you want, I'm just going to bring it over here and roughly in the middle. I'm going to make sure that I press down everywhere. And you can see that I have my H, and let me move all this out of the way. Now, in order to add some of the other details, what I did was I took a punch, and this is a Tim Holtz punch, and I'm going to punch one of these leaves, and it's green, but I think I'm going to add a little bit of shading to this green. And I'm also going to add a little strip of blue. So maybe I'll start with the blue, because I kind of like overlapping. So I'm going to put the blue somewhere toward the bottom of this design. We'll go back in a minute and I'll show you more closely the different designs that I have for each letter, but sometimes I have the blue on the bottom, sometimes on the top. I don't think I did any on the side, but I could have. Got little bits of adhesive still stuck. Get rid of those. Okay, when you're going to take and put adhesive, well, first let's add a little shading. So just to give this the same kind of shading and the depth that I had when I mixed the paints, I'm going to go back with a green felt tip pen, and I'm going to add some darker highlights to this lighter green paper. Sometimes these tiny details really help to give you a finished product that looks so cool, and the details can really make the project. Now, when it's time to fasten this down, if I try to hold something little, chances are as I run my adhesive over this, it's going to pull and break off some of these little details. The trick is to take a Post-it or a sticky note and find the section that's the sticky part, which is here at this top. Place this so it will hold it down. This will hold it in position so that now as I slide this, I'm holding the Post-it note instead of holding the leaf, and I can go back and I can add adhesive all the places I want. And then because the Post-it note is removable, it's not difficult to go back now. I use my tweezers just so my hands are not in the way, but you don't have to have tweezers for this. And pull it off of the removable stickiness that's the back of the note. And then I'll just add, you can decide where you want to place this. I think I might place it so it looks like it's sort of growing right out of, I'll lift this blue back up a little bit so that I can put this green down underneath. And then go ahead, stick that down. And it made it, to me, it felt like there was kind of a little bit of a hole on this side. So what I did was I went back and just using the wooden end of a paintbrush is the best way to get little dots. If you don't already know that, you probably already do. I'm going to just dip it into the yellow and add a dot. Usually I'll start in the middle and then go back and add another dot below and another dot above. Well, this was the paint on the H is probably dry, but now that I did those dots and they're nice and thick, it's going to take a minute for that to dry. So let's go ahead and make the next square. I don't want to try to slide this into this until those little dots are a little more dry. So I'm going to put this off to the side for a minute while we go back. For separating the words, if you have a banner and it has two words in it, Happy Easter, Merry Christmas, Happy Birthday, if you have two words, it's helpful to separate the words. Then it's very easy for somebody to read it at a glance by putting some themed embellishment in between. And it doesn't matter. This one just happens to be, I did a gift. And so because this would work for birthday, I'm going to go ahead and place this and roughly place it in the center. Then you're going to, once you have all of the letters designed and all of the inside sections designed, you're going to put them in the bags. In fact, here you can see, here's the B, and I have the blue band at the bottom, and it's done similar to the H that we just created. Here's the I, and you can see this time I have the band at the top. And then, but once again, in all of them, just for consistency, I always have a blue band somewhere. I always have a green leaf somewhere, and I always have 3 dots. It just moves around. If you put them in the exact same place every time, when you hold them up, if one is a little higher or a little lower, it tends to make it look like one is crooked or one is not measured correctly. But by bouncing them around, you don't have to measure. You can just kind of wing it. So once you have all of them done, then you're going to slide them into the bags. Just making sure that whatever you put inside, you know, it's going to get subdued a little because of the bag. Even though they're transparent, it's still, you want something bright inside. And then I'm going to close just a little. It makes these nice and long. I can tell that my yellow isn't completely dry. So rather than smear it, I'm going to see what happens if I try to blot it a little bit like this. It makes it bigger dots, but you'll get the idea. I would rather have bigger dots than have a big smeared mess. Normally you would be a little more patient and you'd let that dry a little bit better. But now I'm going to go ahead, slide this into another one of the bags and do the same thing. Once it's inside, I'm going to just pull a little on the strings. So not really all the way taut, but a little bit. Then you're going to start threading them through. Now you want a long piece of silk cord or ribbon or twine, whatever you're going to use, but I only have a shorter piece because I only need to show you how to put a few together. What you're going to do is just place this through the loops. So I've gone through this loop and this one, and now I'm going to go through the next loop. Well, after I get this through, you'll see when I hold this up, you don't want these to start overlapping and falling together. In this case, they're kind of staying nicely. They're playing together nicely, but to be double sure, what I've done, if you look here, you can see I've just used these little colored clothespins, and they're really great for keeping the bags separated. So I'm going to use this to capture both cords from both sides. So you can see now that I've got both of them, and then when I'm ready to put the bags next to them, I would do the same thing. Sometimes I don't even stick the cording or the ties under the clothespin. Sometimes I actually hook it on the tip of the clothespin, and that works too. But when you look at this, let me hold it back up again so you can see. Those clothespins, I like the way they look. I like the detail that they add, and it does also help to keep them apart. And there's a few places where I can see that it's become loose, and all I have to do once I hang it, in fact, I'm going to do this one right here. You can see this has come loose. All I'm going to do is hook this over, like I said, right over the tip of one of the clothespins, like so, so that now when I hold this up, now it's gonna catch. So you can see it really is pretty quick and easy to create a birthday banner that you can count down the days till a birthday or really any special occasion with these bitty favor bags that are filled with tiny treats hung from silk cord for the best birthday banner ever.